Hello and welcome back to Pentiment, a medieval narrative adventure game. I've just begun Act 2 and 7 years have passed since Andreas was last in Tassing. He's come back on St. John's Eve, or I guess Midsummer's Eve, summer solstice, to discover that Martin has returned after spending some time as a highway robber. Otto and Eva are married now and have a child, and several villagers have passed away. But Smokey is still out in the forest, full of hot goss. Tensions continue between the peasants and the abbey and are now giving rise to some truly rebellious talk. And I found the grave of the two innocents, though I still don't know who they are or how they are connected to the village. I also visited the new Golden Hand Inn, and now I'm supposed to go have a meal with the Gertner family, who I stayed with when I was working at the Abbey 7 years ago. Let's find out what happens next in Pentiment. Alright, now before I go and have my meal with the Gertners, I want to look around and see if anything is different in town. If I can talk to anyone. What all has changed. Nope, Elsa's outside here. Bless you, Master Mailer. Oh, that's all she has to say. I can go in her house, though. What's in here? Hello? Paul. Paul's grown up a bit. Hello, Master Mailer. Hello, Paul. How are you? I'm alright. Dad keeps talking about his new hunting rifle. It scares me. Oh, they're brutish weapons, deadly when handled by the inexperienced, even for hunting. I understand, Paul. While we were traveling, we saw rows of soldiers carrying rifles. Firearms are just tools, Paul. There's no reason to be afraid of them. I'll say I understand. I guess black powder rifles are a new technology, a new thing here in the 16th century. The sight scared me too. It's all right to be afraid sometimes. Dad says that if you show your fear, you're a coward and people will take advantage of you. Your dad is wrong, Paul. Shh. Don't talk so loudly. His dad is kind of a bully, and we had discovered a while back that he was also abusive to his wife and maybe caused her to have a miscarriage. I need to go. Forget I said anything, Master Mailer, please. Until later. Until then. Alright, so we've discovered that his dad has a rifle. Oh, and there's the rifle. And here's his dad. Andreas, welcome back to Tassing. Hello, Leonard. How is the mill? Lenhart, I'll just say hello. How's the mill? Sturdy as ever, just like me. You look well, not stuck with the Gertners this time, eh? Yeah, and he also, I think, was hitting on the village girls because they'd stopped sending the girls to take the flour or the grain to the mill to be turned into flour because I think he was flirting with the girls. It was inappropriate. He's a real jerk. I'm staying in the Abbey's guest house. The Gertners are lovely people. I didn't want to burden them. I'll only be here a few days. Yeah, I'll say that. Whatever you say. You have such a curious fascination with the peasants. Probably because you don't have to deal with them as often as the rest of us. Anyway, you should come by sometime. I'm sure we'll have a lot to discuss. Well, I'm here now, so discuss it with me. Alright, goodbye, I guess. Oh, hello, doggy dog. I think we were able to pet this doggy 7 years ago, too. Alright, can I go upstairs? No? Okay. Guess I'm out of here. Ah, who are these folks? Anton, Carl, Martha, and Helena. Helena sounds familiar, like maybe she was in the village before, maybe Carl? I don't remember them though. Okay, let's talk to Carl. Hello, Andreas. Anton says hello. Martha says hello. Oh, Martha's going to stop and talk to us. Hi, Martha. Are you Helena's daughter? I'm Martha. I'm Andreas. Nice to meet you. Alright, I'm going to go. Hello, Helena. Andreas Mailer. I never thought I'd see you back here again. Neither did I. I came back to pay my respects to Brother Piero. I'll say that. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know the man, but I'd heard others speak well of him. How have you been, Helena? Well, little Martha managed to survive since your last visit, thank God. Yeah, okay, so I did know her from before. I just don't remember her very well. But lately not so well. You must know about the taxes we have to deal with. Otto is trying to make the abbot see some sense, but I'm worried he's playing with fire. Carl and Peter and the other farmers support him, but it's dangerous to provoke the Duke. Anton's still too young to get mixed up in all this, and we have Martha to look after now. It sounds like the peasants can't really survive with the way things are. Maybe the townsfolk can talk them down. Things already feel like they're getting out of hand, yeah. Well, I'm going to have sympathy for the peasants. How about that? It's going to be a hard winter for certain. But I'd take a skinny husband over a dead one. I pray nothing happens to him. Now then, I best get back to my work. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Okay. Hello, Father Thomas. Oh, can we go in the church? I don't think I've gone into the church before. Oh, yeah, no, I've never been in here before. Oh, look at this. The devil is helping her churn butter and leading people into the flaming mouth of something. Hell, I guess. And what's going on over here? Oh, that's the three wise men giving gold, frankincense, and myrrh to the baby Jesus. Alright. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a labyrinth. Oh, right, because it's the Church of the Holy Labyrinth. This painting of the Virgin Mary is quite lovely, especially for such a rural church. A painting of the Virgin Mary? What does the labyrinth symbolize? This must be the labyrinth the church is named after. Well, I have a craftsman background, and I have an occult background. I'm going to go with my occult background. And that's it. Okay. Oh, this is where Otto lives. Let's go talk to Otto. Oh, and Eva and the baby. Hello, Eva. Hello, Andreas. Hey, Otto. What's up? Andreas? So, Otto, sign from God? Oh, right. I found something just a few days ago. This will sound crazy, but I found St. Moritz's head. Wow. What? His head? Are you sure? You're right, that does sound crazy. I don't know what to say. I'm going to say his head. Are you sure? Shh. Yes, I'm sure. Alright, I can't say anything more until St. John's Day. Then everyone will know. Understood. I won't say a word. Who else knows about this? Yeah, who else knows about it? Only those who need to know. Okay. And you, of course, feel lucky. Maybe I will on St. John's Day when I see what all the fuss is about. It'll be worth the wait, trust me. Until later, Andreas. Where in the heck would you find a saint's head, and how would you know it was the saint's head and not somebody else's head? This place is nice. It's got flowers and wall hangings and things. Very sweet. Alright, bye. He's got the head of the saint. Oh, I mean, I think they have the hand of the saint up in the shrine. But the head of the saint, that's weird. Hey, It's Andres, the blacksmith. He's still out here hammering away. Hey, Andres. Andreas, you're back in Tassing. Just for a few days, I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero. I'm just passing through on my way back to Nuremberg. Yeah, I'll say I'm paying my respects to Brother Piero. Oh yes, Brother Piero, what a talent with color. I'm sorry, Andreas. He was a sweet old man. I talked to him sometimes on my breaks up at the Abbey. I'm surprised Prior Ferenc didn't give you an earful. Well, didn't you hear? Ferenc isn't Prior anymore. Now, this isn't gossip, mind you, just honest truth. Yeah, he hates to gossip. After the abbot found out about Ferenc's black arts, he removed the poor man from the position. Oh! Ooh, that's an outcome from something we did in the previous Act 1. When I went to the Archdeacon, I actually thought Ferenc was guilty of the Baron's murder. I had a whole bunch of evidence against him, but I didn't get a chance to dig up the murder weapon. So when I presented my evidence to I guess it was Archdeacon Jakob, I think was his name, he said, well, you know, since I didn't have the murder weapon, he was going to discard all the other evidence. And they ended up executing Widow Kemperin for the murder, even though I don't think she was guilty. And I was really upset about that. But I'm glad to know that they at least removed Ferenc from his position. Because one, he was a dick. And two, you know, he was doing a lot of creepy secretive stuff. And I think that he may even have been the murderer. So that's interesting. So giving them the evidence still resulted in something happening. It just didn't result in Ferenc being executed. Matthew's Prior now, still strict, but a bit quieter about it. Oh, we've got some dirt on Matthew. We caught him having an affair with another monk in the library late at night. Matthew has always struck me as quite pious. I don't think that he... no, we know better. He's not 100% pious. Maybe it's a change for the best, I'll say that. Who's to say? We don't have to live by the rule. That's the rule that governs the monks in the monastery. Then again, we all have to live under Father Granot's rule, which is probably worse. Oh, are you in with the peasants, Endris? I don't think the abbot's all that bad. Yeah, he is. Are you in with the peasants? I'll ask that. Well, of course, Granot has been running them into the ground. On top of that, we can't even use the forest anymore. Any of us used to be able to go fishing in there. Not anymore. Really, you can't even go fishing? They can't gather wood, they can't go fishing. How are they supposed to survive? How far are you going to take this? I hope things don't get bloody. I'll just say, how far are you willing to go here? I don't know, don't ask me. I'm not leading the thing. But I trust in Otto, and the peasants do too. He's a good man. I hope your trust is well placed. Be careful, Indris. Yeah, Otto seems like a decent guy. The whole town knows it, even Lenhart, though he wouldn't admit it. Say, Andreas, how's the married life been treating you? After you left here to return to Nuremberg, I assume you married that girl of yours, Sabine? I did. Marriage is a legal requirement for becoming a recognized master craftsman. Yeah, I'll say that. Ah, yes, of course. These obligations seldom reach a small town like ours. I imagine it would apply to me as well if I got far enough. I wonder why they were required to be married in order to be masters of their craft. I mean, how would being married make them better at what they do? I don't quite get that. Unless it's just part of some church requirement to, like, you know, be fruitful and multiply or whatever. But I'm not sure how that's connected to their job. I don't know. I'll have to research that later. I hope the married life has treated you well. I still have not found anyone. Oh, Indris! I fear it's never going to happen. Really? Not a single person has caught your eye? Honestly, don't even bother. Marriage is not worth it. Oh. No, Indris is a sweet soul and he should have someone looking after him. I'll ask about no one has caught your eye. Well, when I was in Innsbruck a few years ago, I saw a really pretty girl at the market selling painted pots. There you go, Andres. I think about her sometimes, maybe more than is Christian. Hold on, you need to go back to Innsbruck and find that pretty girl. can tell you now, Andres, it's not worth the effort. Don't let the pretty facade fool you. No, no, no. Go back and find the pretty girl with the pots. Oh, really? You're older than me and you're not married. Go find her. It's how it should be. Life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. Trust me. Do you think Tyrolean men are better than Bavarians? I'm not sure how that relates to the story. Yeah, life is too short to spend dreaming about the loves you could have had. I agree with that. You seem to feel strongly about this, Andreas. But it sounds foolish, juvenile, you might say. Maybe, but it feels right. Don't overthink it. Just take my advice. I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean you can't. You know what? You're right. Forget I said anything. No, I'm going to say, I may not have found true love, but that doesn't mean that you can't. Are you not happy with your life, Andreas? I'm not, but this isn't about me. It's about you. Well, if I ever have the chance to get back to Innsbruck, maybe I will. There's something to look forward to, after all. I thank you, Andreas. You're a man of inspiration. A pleasure. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Aww. Cool. Maybe he'll go and grab that lass. Alright, let's go to the bakery and see how Ulrich is getting on. And his wife, I don't remember her name. There she is. Gret. And Anna's gotten older. Hello, Gret. Bless you, Andreas. I'm thankful you returned to Tasting after so long. We prayed so fondly for you after you left. Thank you, Gret. I've kept Tasting in my prayers as well. No, he hasn't. He's been ignoring everyone's letters. He's been a jerk. He's been all wrapped up in his own stuff. His career and his bad marriage and whatever. It's very kind of you. You shouldn't have bothered. I've done well for myself. But Tasting? No, I'll just say that's very kind of you. Although I hear Tasting needs more prayer than ever right now. Oh, that's right. You were at Otto's speech earlier. Yes, Tasting's peasants are struggling, and now even we townsfolk are pinched by the abbot's new restrictions. I worry about my husband. He's getting too involved with the whole business. What Gernot is doing in Tasting is wrong, and Otto is standing up to him. You disagree with Ulrich? You're right to be worried. Otto's protests look like the start of a revolt. I'll say that what Gernot is doing is wrong. That's what Ulrich says, too. I love my husband, but sometimes I worry that he focuses too intently on the details. He does not see that he may be both prudent and Christian. I pray that I am not acting selfishly, but the abbot's taxes have affected us too. What about Anna's future? Ulrich has been offering credit to Peter for years, which I've accepted, but now... Peter... Oh, that guy. Okay. We can only bake so much bread a week before we go hungry ourselves. Can you talk to him, Andreas? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You gonna get me into all this? I'd rather not drive a wedge between you, of course, but I can't promise I'll change his mind. Yeah, I'll say that. Sure, why not? God bless you, Andreas. That's all I ask. Well, Peter is, Peter Gertner. I think he's the guy that I was staying with when I was here before. Oh, look at all the pretty flowers and wreaths they have up for the midsummer solstice. Oh, nice. Hey, Anna. Hello, Master Andreas. Alright. Well, that was an interesting conversation. Oh, the Steinauer house. It's Lucky, the stonemason. Andreas, back in Tasting, I see. Happy to see me? I came to visit the grave of Brother Piero and pay my respects, only passing by. I came to visit the grave of Brother Piero, I'll say that. Your friend, didn't mind him, was a proper Christian. Unlike the others? I'm gonna say that. We both know what the monks are. Troubled times, don't go stoking the fire. I assume you're referring to Otto's speech? Won't end well. Life's getting harder for everyone, but if this shit goes on, there'll be backlash, a bloody one. Don't like the abbot coming for my fishing rights, but I will make do. I'm not sure if their lives are comparable to ours. They sure seem to complain a lot lately. I'm not sure if their lives are comparable to ours, I'll say that. I work for my wages like any man, Andreas. We work, we don't complain. It's not Christian. I suppose. How is your family doing during these troubling times? Yeah, you know, it's pretty convenient that to be Christian, and I'm doing air quotes here, is to not complain and do whatever you're told to do. Like, I really don't think that's, I mean, it's just so convenient because it keeps people in line, you know? It allows people in one position to exploit people in another position. We're fine. Agnes is fine. Brigitte is fine, and Martin are fine. Martin's become far more responsible a man after his return. I just wish... never mind. You wish? Ray's eyebrow quizzically. You wish? Ugh. I wish Wolf hadn't died. Yeah, we all do, Lucky. That's so hard. I mourned the boy all these years later. I hoped he'd take up my mantle. I wanted to pass on my knowledge and trade. Yeah, I bet you did. I love the idea of the apprentice system. Just the idea that, like, you know, if you want to do a trade or you want to, you know, have a certain job, you go and study with a person who's already doing that job. It just makes so much more sense than spending so many years and so many thousands of dollars, like going to college, let's say, and studying a whole bunch of different things, and then coming out and still not being able to get a job, you know? Rest in peace, Wolf. I'm sorry, Lucky, I really am. I'll say I'm sorry. Yeah. Perhaps Brigitte will have another while I live. She seems happy enough with Martin. I'd love to hear the patter of small feet again, a boy to hold a chisel and mallet. A little stonemason making his grandfather proud. Oh, I would love that, Lucky. I suppose that's up to Brigitte and Martin. I hope your wish comes true. He could become something other than a stonemason, you know. Yeah, I'll just say I hope his wish comes true. God willing. Enough idling now. Got things to do. Until later, Andreas. Until then. Yeah. I didn't get a chance to investigate Lucky thoroughly, so I don't really know what his whole storyline is. I mean, it's possible that he killed the Baron. I think he probably had a really good reason to do so. My assumption is that maybe the Baron got his daughter pregnant and she died in childbirth. And he's got that big stonemason's hammer, which very well could have been the weapon that killed the Baron. But he's such a nice guy. And so many people in the village respect him. And he is so valuable to the village that I didn't want to turn him in. Let's see if his wife is in here. There she is. She's the village midwife. Hello, Agnes. Oh, Andreas, how good it is to see you again. And who's this? Hello, Agnes. This is my assistant, Casper. Hello. What a hale-looking boy. And you, Andreas, you look very well. Why are you back in Tassing? I came to pay respects to Brother Piero's grave. Well, you know, I couldn't resist the charms of the country life. I wanted to reminisce. Tassing was on the way back to Nuremberg. I wanted to take the long way round. I came to pay respects to Brother Piero. That's what I've been telling everyone. Oh, of course. I'm sure the brother has appreciated that. The last few years have been difficult for everyone. We've lost so many. Yes, I heard Bert and Marie had passed. Tragic. What do you mean? I'm going to ask what do you mean and let her tell me. I won't share stories that aren't mine, but between illness and accidents, grief runs rampant in Tassing. Anyway, I won't burden you with all of Tassing's troubles. No, tell me. It's been good to see you again, Andreas. Until later. Oh, all right, if you insist. It's been cool running around talking to everyone and seeing what everyone's been up to since I've been gone. And we were up here earlier and they're building some kind of town hall place. But we couldn't get into these houses and now we can. All right, let's go talk to the doctor. See what he's up to. Ooh, oh, there's some beds here. Oh, I wonder if there's going to be more murders. Are we going to do some more autopsies? Hey, Werner. Yes? Oh, Andreas Mailer, how unexpected. I'm very busy at the moment. Another time? Okay. Oh boy, I guess we're gonna be in here talking to him. Alright. Now, who are the Eisenkopfs? I don't know who they are. I don't think I remember them. Oh, interesting. He's got gears and things. Balthazar, hello. Salutations, you must be that wonderful artist, no? Master Andreas Mailer, yes? I suppose. Who are you? I'll just say Master Andreas Mailer, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Balthazar Eisenkopf at your service, but call me Balthus, please. It's much more familiar. A pleasure, Balthus. Have you been in Tasting long? I'll say that. Oh, just a few seasons. My cart broke down, and I found the place so charming I decided to stay. I enjoyed the quiet, but I must say I do miss the company of other intellectuals. Usually the good Dr. Stolz and I whittle the hours away in the evenings. So naturally, when I heard a well-known artist had returned, I was beside myself. I'm always pleased to meet a like-minded individual. What do you do? So you're an artist? What do you do exactly? Now I'll say I'm pleased to meet a like-minded individual. I'm an inventor of sorts. Really? What do you make? All sorts of things, young man. Mechanical clocks of all sizes, metal mice that skitter about, even light without flame. Truly impressive, Balthus. I can't see how any of that would be useful. Oh, come on, don't be such a shit. A master of your craft. You have my respect, Balthus. Yeah, I'll use my craftsman's background. Thank you, Andreas. You must come by later so I can pick your brain. We must share our ideas, no? Ah, well, I'd best get back to it. You know how it is for us few called to a higher art. Good luck, Balthus. Until later. Nice! Oh, this guy's cool. That's just really cool stuff. I love his workshop. Alright. Let's head back into town. I think we've also talked to everyone at Johan Bauer's farm already. Yeah, we have. Alright, so let's go to the Gertners. I guess we'll go here and have lunch. And see how things have changed and hear what they've got to tell us. Alright, so Clara's still here. There's Peter. There's Big Jorg. There's Ursula. Oh, and Veronica's here now. Oh, did she marry into the family? I think she was Johann Bauer's daughter. Alright, hey Peter. Hello, Andreas. Hey Big Jorg. Hello, Andreas. Hello, Ursula. Hello. Hello, Ursula. Do you remember me? No, should I? It's me, Andreas. I've been a friend of your family for ages. I suppose you wouldn't recognize me. I'm not the poor artist your parents boarded. No, you were very young when I was last in Tasting. I boarded in your parents' house. You used to poke me in the foot with a stick to wake me up. I'm going to say that. I did? You did. I stayed in the room upstairs. I kind of remember that. Cough, cough. I think you told me a story once. Mom and Dad sometimes talk about you. They said you went away for more training. What was that like? Well, while I was in London, I learned a new portrait technique. No, not about the art, Andreas, about your travels. Oh, all right. London has a big bridge going over its river, but the bridge is so big there are buildings on it. Have you ever seen a hound without a head? Oh my gosh. What's that all about? No, how could it do anything? In the wild places of England there are great hounds, black as pitch, that haunt the woods. Headless beasts formed from the souls of children that died without being baptized. What? And they cry out, their wailing like that of the unfortunate babe. But if anyone goes looking for the source of the crying, the hound drags their soul to hell. Oh, that's a scary story to be telling a little girl. That still doesn't make any sense. Cough. Is she sick? Oh, little Ursula. I don't think they could cry if they don't have a head. Anyway, I'd better go help Mom. See you later, Andreas. Until then. Hey, Veronica. Hello, Andreas. Good to see you back in town. Hello, how have you been? Oh, you know, pulled every which way. Mom's been a cow about when I'll give her grandchildren. As if I'm not doing enough work already. You're married now? It's a good idea to set yourselves up for the future. You shouldn't rush something as important as children. I'll just say you're married now? Oh yeah, I guess you wouldn't know. Big Jorg and I were married 2 springs back. Congratulations to you both. You make a lovely match. That's about what I expected. I'll say congratulations. Thanks. Now Mom's nagging me about when we'll have kids. It's a good idea to set yourselves up for the future. Are you two having trouble? You shouldn't rush something as a... I'll say, are you two having trouble? Not exactly. Jorg is fine. It's just... I understand such things are difficult sometimes. You're both young. Have you talked to Agnes? She may have some herbs that will help. Yeah, I'll say that because I've got this medicine background. Now that's an idea. I might do that. Thanks, Andreas. Anyway, I should get back to work. We're all preparing for the festival. I'll leave you to it. Until later, Veronica. See you, Andreas. Okay. Let's talk to Clara. Hello again, Andreas. We're about to sit down to supper. Care to join? It would be a pleasure. I want to walk around some more. Now I've been walking around for a while, so let's have dinner. It's truly a blessing to have everyone back together again, if only briefly. Keep an eye on that boy of yours, Andreas. See that he minds how much he takes. Young boys eat too goddamn much. Peter, stop that. Andreas is our guest. Why don't you lead us in grace? Fine. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. We pray again for our beloved Christine, gone now these many years. Christine? And also for my father, taken from us by the merciless greed of that bastard abbot. Peter. Well, his father's name was Ill Peter. So, you know, he probably died of old age. But why is he blaming the abbot for that? Forgive me, Lord. And please help me to forgive those who have wronged us. Through Christ our Lord, amen. Amen. Master Andreas, why are we the only ones with bread? The Gertners can't afford a lot of bread. They're being polite. Quiet, Casper. Say nothing. I'll just say they're being polite. Andreas, it is so good to have you at our table again. And with another guest. Is this young man your assistant? Casper, yes, he's my apprentice. That would explain why I saw him writing in that little journal. I remember you did the same thing when you lived here. We've got some cheese and some rye bread and some fresh pottage. Wow. Yeah, this is a very, very meager meal compared to what I used to eat with all the peasants 7 years ago. I'll have the bit of cheese. Do you still draw in your journal, Andreas? I've been trying to spend more time on the land. It's hard to be in touch with God's splendor in a city like Nuremberg. Sometimes when the mood strikes, not really. The work I do now is pretty rote. I'll use my nature background here. Mom said you know a lot about the proper names for birds and trees and things. Cough, cough. Huh. How nice that you have the time. And we toil all day, and that despicable abbot is starving us all while he sips on his sacramental fucking wine. Ooh, there's some real anger here, and I don't blame him. I mean, look at his whole family is not getting enough to eat, and it sounds like his wife and child are sick. Lay off him, Dad. He's only just got here. I will eat the pottage. How have the fates been treating you these last few years? Lie. The house looks good, very sturdy and free. Nah, I'm not going to lie to them. How have the fates been treating you? Ursula's coughing. Clara says, ugh. The Lord is testing us with another hard season, I'm afraid. You must have noticed that Peter's father is no longer with us. The winter after you left was a difficult one. With all of the taxes we owed, it was hard to make ends meet. Oh, dang it. Yeah, I had the opportunity to help them try to get a break on their taxes. And I guess I just made all the wrong choices because I couldn't convince anyone to help them. We didn't. We didn't make ends meet. Dad, a little kindness from the abbot could have spared us, but no. I'm sorry. Nod somberly. I'll say I'm sorry. Sorry. Why? You don't control the abbot's cruel heart. Anyway, the debt was my responsibility to pay. And I failed. And this year the whole family's been ill, Andreas. Peter, Ursula with the ague, and me, well... Clara lost a child in childbed a year ago now. Oh, maybe that's the Christine they were talking about? Do you have any idea what the cause might have been? I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, I'm going to ask with my medicine background. Andreas? It's all right, Veronica. Agnes suggested it might have been a fright I was given during the flood. She was nearly swept away in the flood, then the child came early. Agnes tried her best to save him, but he had a deformity of the skull and didn't live long. It was... Surely the child is with the Lord now. Remain silent. Don't think about it, just keep the conversation going. You're already thinking about it. Yeah, this is Beatrice. She's one of the voices in his head. Please leave me alone just for a while. Alright, just for a while. Surely the child is with the Lord now. I'll remain silent. It seems the Lord rarely looks in on tasking any longer. That's why it's time for us to take matters into our own hands. We're eating, not at the table, do you think? Please, can we not talk about this now? I'll eat my rye bread. Jorg here was married while you were away, Andreas. Yes, I heard. You and Veronica make a good match, Jorg. Thanks. Jorg has been good to me. There aren't many other options in tasking anyway. Oh, don't say that right in front of him. Oh, that's cold. It's been a couple springs, but I'm still not used to being married. Any children yet? I'm not going to ask, because I already talked to her about it, Veronica. Congratulations, Jorg. I'm happy for you. Thanks, Andreas. It's been our one blessing in a dark season. With children soon to come, I hope. Ha ha ha. She doesn't get it. I don't get it. Cough. Do you? Forget it, Ursula. What have you been up to, Andreas? Foreign patrons are fussy, and I've spent a fortune trying to keep my inks wet and canvases dry while traveling. I don't want to brag about how much money I have when they're, like, barely able to eat bread. Oh, Nuremberg is miserable. I'm painting a commission, but patrons are paying to be added, so it's taking ages to finish. Yeah, they don't care about that. Well, I've been so busy with Casper's apprenticeship, I never have any time to myself. What should I say? My life seems so far from theirs now. Don't leave them waiting, Beatrice says. My mind's gone blank. What should I say? I'm not getting any feedback from Socrates or St. Grobian. They used to also give me feedback. Socrates was always very logical, and St. Grobian was always very inappropriate and crude. But I usually chose Beatrice anyway, so maybe because I chose Beatrice so much in the first act, that's all I'm getting this time? I don't know. I can't think of anything. Nothing but my miserable little problems. They'll think you're rude if you don't say something. I'll just say I've been so busy with Casper's apprenticeship. Better not have any children then. I do my best to be helpful. Cough, cough. Ursula, maybe you should excuse yourself and rest. You're sick. But Mom, I'm still hungry. Here, Ursula, you can have mine. Oh, Casper, you sweetheart. It's not fair that nobody else gets any bread besides Master Andreas and me. Stop. Ursula, give it back to him. I'm not going to have people in this town saying we can't feed our goddamn guests. Besides, we all have work to get back to, don't we? Time to get back to it, Andreas. We'll see you and your boy later. My apologies, Peter. We don't mean to overstay our welcome. I was just thinking we ought to go anyway. I'll just apologize. It's all right, Andreas. He's just in a bad mood. It was lovely to see you again. Yes, thank you for coming, Andreas. Will you be staying for St. John's Eve? I think so. I'm not sure yet. I'll say I think so. Good. Hopefully we'll see you later. Until then... I guess this is not the night of the St. John's Eve festival, so let's just head back. Let's head back to the guest house. Oh, we're having a cutscene. Oh, it's Amelie, the anchoress. She's still there at the church. The sin of Saul, the sin of Saul. Saul, the first monarch of Israel. According to the Old Testament, Saul was divinely rejected from the kingship after disobeying the prophet Samuel's instructions. Okay. Master, did you hear that? It sounded like someone crying out. I think it's Sister Amelie. She's a mystic. She may be having one of her visions. Sister Amelie, are you all right? The Philistines. This is the hand of God. Compline, Compline. It's the monastic hour corresponding to 8 p.m. Okay. Is it currently Compline? Yes, it is. Sister, is something happening at Compline? It's Compline right now. Oh, okay. Thank you. No. Sister? Sister Amelie? You're the artist, Andreas. You remember me? Are you all right, sister? What did you see? Yeah, I'm going to say, what did you see? See, I don't remember. What did I say? Something about the sin of Saul and the Philistines and Compline. Oh, I wish Father Thomas were here. Would you like Casper to go get him? If he could, yes. His house is just around the corner. Casper, run and get Father Thomas. Yes, Master Andreas. Your son? My apprentice, Casper Ziegler from Salzburg. My apprentice, but I think of him like a son. No, I have no son. My wife and I. I'll just say my apprentice from Salzburg. He seems eager to please you. Of course, that's the job of an apprentice. He is quite enthusiastic. I feel his devotion is misplaced in me. I'll say he's quite enthusiastic. I have little knowledge of the workings of masters and apprentices. Oh gosh, now we're in the cell with Amelie. My world is one of spirit, decoupled from the march of life and death. What's she got on the ground? Does she sleep in a pit? I assume that's her chamber pot there where she goes to the bathroom. And there's a book in the wall? I see and hear your world turning from this little window, but they are mercifully small glimpses. I read a little bit about this online, and the way that it worked was they were literally walled in. Like they put in, they have 4 stone walls. There's no doors. Ugh, I would hate that. I couldn't do it. Mercifully small? You chose a difficult life. I'll say you chose a difficult life. The life is not difficult, but the choice was. My life belongs to God, and its trials are mine to endure in this cell. Your world is the world of normal lives and normal thoughts. It can be difficult to hear the divine, much less make sense of it. I have no will to be part of that world. I strive to have no will at all, but to subordinate myself to the will of God. When my will is His will, He graces me with visions, confusing though they may be. I don't know what that background is. The sun and clouds? To join your will to be intimate with Jesus as though He were your wedded husband. It must be frustrating. Surely it could be interpreted with scripture. I'm sorry to have disturbed you. I don't know what that symbol means, but I'll choose that one. It seems to be a unique dialogue option. That is a bold thing to say, Master Mailer. Where did you hear that? I read it in a book written by an English mystic. Oh, that must be because I chose England as my background. At the beginning of Act 2, I had to choose where I had been for the past 7 years, and I chose England. Why do you assume I heard it? I have thoughts of my own. I'll say I read it in a book written by an English mystic. It helped me improve my English skills while I was abroad. I am glad you have an interest in spiritual matters. But these are not words to speak lightly, nor ideas to speak lightly of. The revelations we experience can be terrifying to us and to those who witness us experiencing them. They are not dreams, but waking visions of the greatest divine forces. I'm sorry, I did not mean to offend you. Say nothing. I'll apologize. I am not offended. But it is difficult for us to communicate these experiences through the written word. Sister, what is that hole in the ground? My grave. Oh my God. And I thought I was goth. Oh, what? That seems macabre. Say nothing. I'll say that seems macabre. I dug it before Father Thomas read me my funeral rites, before I was enclosed here. I dig a little more in it each day. Most people find it shocking, but this is my devotion, my vocation. So you're just sitting around waiting to die? Once someone finds their calling, they must answer it fully. What if the calling is wrong? I don't think it's that simple. Of course, how could we do otherwise? Was a calling to a cloistered life not enough? I'll ask about that. It wasn't enough just to be a nun. No, I thought it might be, but as you yourself have learned, the cloistered life is not so cloistered. Yeah, that's true. The butting of the temporal world against the spiritual world is like flint against steel. Sparks are inevitable. Is your calling in question, Andreas? Is your life? Both, I think, or say nothing. No, I'll continue the conversation. I've lost my love. My love for art, love for family, love for anything. The last 7 years have been hard. It was all too much for me. Don't lose hope, Andreas. The human heart is no small thing. It can hold so much. Whoa, that was kind of cool. I don't know. Intense. Just intense, but cool. Andreas, thank you for sending Casper. It seemed prudent she asked for you. Yeah, I'll say she asked for you. Are you all right, Sister Amelie? Yes, Father, I may have had another vision. Andreas said I spoke of the sin of Saul, Philistines, and Compline. What do you think it means, Father? Andreas, Casper, could you excuse us? We appreciate your help, but I must tend to her now in the church. Of course, Father. Good evening. All right. Good evening. I'll say, of course, good evening, or I'll say all right. God bless you both. Master Andreas, I'm confused. What did that all mean? I'm not sure, but the last time I heard Sister Amelie have a vision, it was just before the Baron was murdered. Dun dun dun. What? Do you think Sister Amelie could be receiving warnings? My occult background says no, that's too simple an explanation. There are layers and layers to divine messages. My medical background says perhaps there is a medical explanation for her condition, a fever or St. Anthony's fire. St. Anthony's fire? What is that? It's possible, yes. I'm skeptical. Now I'll go with my occult background. No revelation with real power or prophecy could be understood plainly. The meaning must be hidden or implied. Sounds complicated. Come, Casper, let's retire for the evening. All right, let's head back to the guest house. Let's go back to the guest house and go to sleep. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Go to sleep, stay awake. Let's go to sleep. I don't think there's anything I can investigate in the evening. There's nothing in my quest journal, so I'm just going to go to sleep. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pentiment. I didn't really do much except run around and talk to everybody, but I think it's really interesting to see how things have changed in 7 years, to see how the decisions that I made in the previous act are affecting the outcome of events in the current act. And I don't know, it's just been cool to run around and talk to everyone and build up the story toward what I assume is going to be some sort of interesting event. We've had the ominous warnings from Sister Amelie. I don't know what they mean, but I guess we'll find out next time. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, you could subscribe, you could leave a comment. You could also share the video or the channel with your friends. Check out some of my other content. Help spread the word. Every little bit helps, and I especially appreciate those of you who help me with channel memberships and super thanks. Take care of yourselves until next time. Bye!